Inside your head, there's a running tab open constantly, and that tab is called What Are They Thinking About Me? And you don't even know what massive disruption this is causing in your life. You're probably blaming your problems on something else. It's time to be free of that nuisance. In this video, we're going to break down how to stop caring what other people think and how your dreams show you exactly how you block yourself and why. Because this pattern is sneaky. Sometimes it shows up as over editing what you say, holding back ideas, not posting what you want to post, dressing for approval instead of expression, replaying conversations hours later, and most people just think they're being self-aware. But that's not self-awareness. It's self-surveillance. Part of your mind is constantly watching yourself through other people's imagined eyes. And that splits your energy. Part of you is trying to live, and the other part is managing perception. When you're filtering yourself through imagined opinions, decision making gets heady. Simple things feel loaded, and you can't just ask yourself, what do I think? You ask, how does this land? How will this be interpreted? Will this make me look stupid? Will people get it? So instead of a clear, decisive action, you get hesitation. And that means that you lose momentum. Ultimately, you become stuck because of this imbalance between your masculine and feminine energies. The confidence to take steps while feeling safe to leap forward with something that you're inspired by. Learning how to stop worrying about other people's perceptions starts with going back to your original blueprint. No one is born worrying about what others think. This pattern forms through moments of imprint, times when you didn't feel safe. It could be being laughed at, being corrected publicly, being compared. Moments where you walked away from a conversation feeling like you said the wrong thing or showed up the wrong way, even if no one actually told you that. And your inner person makes a decision. Monitor yourself so that this never happens again. So part of you becomes hyper aware of what other people might be thinking. This is where I love bringing dreams into the conversation, because dreams don't let you hide this pattern. They show you immediately where you avoid exposure and self-monitor instead. If you really truly want to be freed from this jail, you need to let the masked version of yourself be poked at a little bit. What happens when you go within and let your shadow aspects get stirred up is that your dreams change. They start to show exactly where the imbalance is being held within your energy body. These dreams may not be very pretty, but let's look at a dream seated with one of my inner journeys called Restored Within. You don't have to interpret the dream, but I invite you to notice where you see the flow being disrupted. Even finding something as simple as that in your own dreams will help you immensely with your own personal work. In the dream, a podcast episode had been released about me, and I was excited because it was talking about my work. So I put my headphones on to listen. The host gave a beautiful introduction, and I felt really seen. But when she said my name, she got it wrong. My heart dropped. I thought, no one is going to know she's talking about me. I didn't want to correct her directly. I started thinking of quiet ways to fix it without making her uncomfortable. I kept listening, but the volume started fading. The audio got quieter and harder to hear until it cut out completely. Did you find where the flow is disrupted? This dream is about visibility mixed with self-consciousness. On one level, this dream shows expansion, being comfortable with being seen, being spoken about. Kudos to this dreamer. But the wrong name reflects fear of being misunderstood or misrepresented. And her reaction in the dream, not wanting to correct it directly, shows that disruptive self-monitoring pattern. Managing perception instead of just saying what it is. At the end, the audio began to fade until it disappeared. That's saying that this dreamer was so consumed by looping thought patterns that she couldn't even hear all the great stuff being said about her. She focused solely on that one small nugget that could have easily been corrected. When you dilute your voice to keep others comfortable, you suffer. Here's the real cost. When you're focused on what others think, you're not fully in your own experience. You're outside yourself, watching yourself, and that creates a split. You performing and you observing the performance. That split drains creative energy. It stifles spontaneity, it drains authenticity. Many people don't even know how to heal this split within themselves. I'm here to say from experience, when it comes to shadow work, the only way out is in. So do some inner work. I'll work with you every step of the way. And bring your dreams, because when this pattern starts dissolving, dreams shift. You'll start seeing dreams where you speak freely, you show up boldly, you're visible without panic, you lead, teach, or express naturally, and that then moves into waking life and waking life experience. Here's a dream showing this shift. What else do you see in the dream? Write in the comments what you think. So in this dream, I was riding a bike. I was at the halfway point in this journey. I stopped at an official place to ask where to go next. They pointed me out to this open, grassy area. I couldn't fully see the path, but I started heading in that direction anyway. Then I thought, honestly, I could just call my mom to pick me up. And everyone around seemed relieved that I was making it easier on myself. I noticed snacks set out for visitors on the way out, so I just grabbed one, saying, "Don't mind if I do." This dream shows great improvement. Being at the halfway point clearly says they are at a turning point. There's less pressure to prove something, less survival energy. Showing support instead of struggle shows integration. Even grabbing that snack on the way out shows boldness, being comfortable and willing to nourish and care for oneself without feeling like they have to get approval or have a reason. So instead of pushing through chaos, the dream shows learning to move forward confidently, even if you don't see a clear path. One of the most helpful shifts in creating instant confidence is in interrupting that monitoring habit. When you notice yourself wondering, what do they think? Gently bring it back. What do I think? Because your life moves fluidly when your decisions are sourced internally. Once again, thanks for dreaming with me. May your nights be rich with guidance and your mornings full of clarity.